Holy shit balls. Hello boys and girls, I'm Shodah. This is my review slash feeling slash nut on the VR1. Full disclosure, before we get cracking, I did get sent this. Arta did send me this. I currently work for Somnium Space, but as their audio slash creative designer for their social game. I've had no input on the VR1, but those who know Arta knows he likes things said as it is, because he's very much like that. He doesn't really have a filter, which can be great. And if it's like me, it can get you into a lot of trouble sometimes. It's going to be my own views and my own opinions. Take it with an absolute punnet load of salt. But yeah, this is my first review. I've shoved in a load, packed it full of stuff. Hopefully you enjoy it. If not, don't care. Why should you listen to me? I've been in VR since 2014. I've got about 8,000 hours in Steam alone, not including Oculus. Too many hours in VR chat. Full degeneracy, that's fine. I am an advocate of that. That's perfect. You want to do that? Fucking yeah, do it. Let's crack on. This is the VR1. Before we start, I think I should get the VR1, shouldn't I? Let me just get this stand out of the way now. And I might change the lens. I'm going to change the lens so it looks prettier. Okay, where do we begin? Let me get my notes up. What to say about this monstrous beauty? It's a behemoth task, I tell you what, because this is by far the... Carrying this feels illegal to me, purely based on just the specs, its cost, and what it can do. It is phenomenal, but there is a few flaws on it. Only minor niggles. This is my review. Let's rock and roll, eh? It looks bigger than what it actually is. It looks bigger on the face, but it doesn't feel bigger. I would put this close, if not slightly better, than the Index's level of comfort. It uses the Quest 2 style pop-off jobbies, which is not a bad thing. They work, they're cheap to buy, you can customize them really easily. I've tried a few. I've tried a Bobo ripoff, which I'll go get now. I put, whoa, nearly! That would have been hilarious. Didn't work that well, mainly because this is the Quest 3 and I 3D printed some Quest 2 adapters to Quest 3. And because this is a thinner profile of the Quest 2, it stretched out the arms a little bit. I wouldn't bother 3D printing an accessory for the Quest 3 strap to fit the Somnium because the Somnium is wider. I tried these two on it. This is like an open flat design. This worked really well because the arms just slides in, and this really held it on. If you want the most comfortable experience, then a Halo strap works well with this kind of headset. This one is pretty much the same as the stock, and the stock is great enough in my opinion. Speaking of the stock strap, click, click, nice. This works really well. It's got great padding on the top, and it's got your normal clicky ratchet style adjustments, but it's this bend here. Now I've seen a lot of people comment saying how they're not going to fit big headphones on. I've just realised I've got some big headphones up there. Let's find it out right now. Okay, I've got some Sennheisers here. 202s, they're cheap but they sound decent for what they are. Let's see what these look like now. I'll bang this on. Look at the clearance I've got on this. Stick your headphones on. That's fine. If you want to use big boys, I mean, obviously if you've got giant headphones, they're not going to work, but in terms of this size, if that helps, it's comfortable, do that. I'm actually gotten used to this kind of, it's a more of a thicker foam, more of a, not padded as much, but it's dense, that's the word, it's dense. It's a real dense material. If you want to change it, just rip it off. Now this bit here, I'm not going to take it off now. This bit comes off via screws. So if you want to change or 3D print your own facial interface, this bit clicks out. You can see where it joins there. This different material, it clicks out and you can put whatever you want in there. Let me just get this back on because I am anal when it comes to this sort of. In terms of how it feels when you wear it. Now I'm one of these people, I like to clamp it on my face. I'm a face hugger. If it's not cutting off every kind of breathable surface, any gap, then I'm not in VR. Some people are used to the open style design, which I use a lot on the Quest 3. And we all know the reason why we have that open design on the Quest 3. Yes, you do. There's people who say they don't do it, and then there's liars. It feels sturdy. And it sounds weird saying this, but it feels the money. You know when you've got something. You know when you say like you pick up an iPhone versus like a really cheap Android. You can feel the difference. This is a dense boy. It's not heavy, but it feels solid. It feels actually solid. Speaking of degeneracy, a VR chat session in this for roughly 11 hours, including some spicy beverages. Fell asleep in it. Absolutely fine. If you're one of these people who play VR a lot, you're one of these people who, you know, sometimes have a little bit of a spicy sesh, then and you fall asleep in VR. I used to take the piss out of people like that. You'd be fine with this. Absolutely fine. It'll be different to yours because this is the pre-production model, but you see there, really handle cable guides. And what these do is something rather special. These put the weight of the cables behind your back. They go over, and that helps with the balance immensely. It's incredible the difference. So instead of it being down one side or hanging in your front, the way these sit on the back here just aids to that balance. It's balanced. Yes. Look. Let's do a wiggle test, eh? Right. I clamp it down. There's no movement there at all. And because these go here, it pulls it up at the same time. So it gives it more balance. It spreads the load out evenly. And I must say though, I do full room scale VR. I'm not much of a sit down sim guy, although this has changed my view on flight sim, especially for DCS and micro flight simulator. Some of the scenery this can pump out, just insane. Visuals. Wait, no, let's just check my. Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna keep that in because that's hilarious. I hope you boys and girls are doing all right. I hope this is like a decent kind of review for you. We all know the wobbly mess of the Quest 3. It's not so bad now. It's got a lot better. We all know the Quest 2 pass-through if we like to watch old style movies, which is great. Pico 4 pass-throughs is all right. And I've tried the Apple Vision Pro when I was in Prague. This smashes it. It just smashes it. There's some footage now, but it just genuinely smashes it. You've got full control over these cameras. There's an auto feature as well, but if you're a nerd, fucking nerd like me, camera nerd, and you have to dial these settings in. You can do contrast, you can do grain. Here's a screenshot of all the settings you can do inside the tool, which we'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, contrast, gamma. Again, there's even like a you can upscale the footage and render it at a higher frame rate. So if you want proper true motion pass through, you can. Or if you just want to go balls to the wall, dick hanging out resolution, you can. Because I can't remember off the top of my head, this is the camera specs, and this is the camera specs of others. In fact, it's that good that I can just sit in there all day. I know this is going to sound really weird and bizarre, because normally you watch films inside VR and you see it pass through. I was doing some rendering on my PC, so I used this to watch a film through the pass through, and I had the render sequence next to me. I know it's a really mundane, boring use case of pass through, but I did it and it's fine. I can see everything around me. There's no weird jagginess, there's no weird offset. It looks good. It's shockingly good. You can display what the pass-through is seeing on the tool, which we'll get to in a second. And this comes on to me how this makes me feel. This makes me feel generational step, if not 2 generational steps towards the right direction in terms of PCVR quality. There's no, other than Pimax, yeah, big screen beyond, lovely headset. Meganex, when they deliver, there's not really anyone targeting PCVR. And I understand the benefits of standalone and wireless PCVR is the thing, which comes on to the first thing that I don't like about it, not gonna lie. And it's not the headset's fault, it's technology's fault. It took me an absolute balls length to get used to having a cable again after using so many wireless solutions. Of course, the picture quality is well worth the trade-off. At the minute, there's no other 100% guaranteed way to get this kind of resolution through a headset. Just bear that in mind. If you're used to wireless PCVR play, it's not so much the cable quality is amazing. You know, you get some dodgy cables that feel absolute like a bull scrotum, like really rubbery, and this one feels great in the hand. Great in the hand. If you've seen the unboxing video, which I'll link in the description, it has some nice metal ends on USBs, and it has some really nice metal connection boxes, and they just feel amazing, especially these ports here. But yeah, coming back to the whole technology isn't there to get the visual clarity for a wireless setup, and that's why we have wires. This is a Simmers flight sims, race sims, wet dream. If you're craving that immersion and you want the best visual quality, then this is how the VR1 makes you feel. Even though this is the pre-production model, I've had no flaws of it starting up. I've only had one crash, and that's because Numbnuts here decided to run OpenXR and SteamVR at the same time. That's completely user error, so it's only crashed once on me. So far I put about 350 hours over just over a month. The beauty of it is you set it up how you want and then you just pick it up and go. Now the tool has got an absolute array of different changes. You can change how much is rendered. You can change the foveated rendering to whatever size you want. You can change the render resolution. I'm currently running this at 65% on a 3080 Ti, and I can run pretty much anything. But even that's just, compared to everything else I've used, it's just, you can tinker with the contrast, the brightness of the panels. Yeah, also inside that tool, you've got your mixed reality features, which you can, there's so many features. There's just so many. You can have it overlay when you press the pass-through on, so it just goes on top of everything. You can chroma key it, you can 3D mesh it, you can custom textures. You can cinema mode, which I've used a lot recently, which it basically puts this like in like an area so you can always see your pass-through. So I've been using it recently where it's just like, remember picture in picture? I've had it as pass-through, like it's just here. in my vision. So I can play VR, and I know if I'm going to twat this or smash me noggin on that, it's fine. I can see what I'm doing. Modular and customization not only happens here, but it happens in the software as well. So what don't I like about this? Well, other than getting used to the cable, that's completely personal preference. Most people get used to it straight away. It just took me a while. I have been doing wireless PCVR for a while now. I've been enjoying that immensely, running around like a chicken and just doing roly-polies and shit, which is great. But I got used to it now, and that's fine. I've just got to be mindful of how many times I turn. But these cables are built like a brick shit house, and I'm pretty sure they'll outlast me. Another thing I don't like about it is this little nose piece here. Again, personal preference. I've just got a fat sniffer, and it touches that. It touches that. You don't notice it, but I do, because I've got a fat sniffer. But if you really want it, you can take that out. I just don't want it. That's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. Getting used to the that's pretty much it. Getting used to the cable and me fat sniffer. Everything else is just it's given me an existential crisis, right? Because if this is how can I word this without sounding like an absolute moron? The visual quality of this in some games, it's hard to tell that it's in VR. I'm flabbergasted, and I'm absolutely shit with words when it comes to describing something that monstrous, that incredible, that I've been getting like more vivid VR dreams than I ever do. People get that a lot. You play a lot of VR, your brain stores it because it's more immersive, and there's more information going in your brain for it to store, and when you go to sleep, it should store it away. But when you wear in something like this, when you're experiencing something like this, and those memories in VR become indistinguishable from memories in real life, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. It's scary. What's the next step? From this, what's the next step? And that blows my mind away. Field of view. Here's my figures here with the Steam VR thing that you can try. I've weirdly got a very narrow vertical field of view, but I get a fairly decent horizontal field of view. Again, that's space shape dependent. I'm a little midget, chunky boy, and my eyes are like little letterboxes. Great field of view, great brightness. Ah, the brightness! Oh my god! Let's get blessed by the god of through the lens footage. Tyrael, do we have your blessing, sir? Cue the montage. Through the lens footage, take it with a pinch of salt. Every setting was kept the same for every headset. Cameras, nerdy as shit. It's an incredible headset, worth the money, and I know I can say that because I got sent it, but this is the pre-production model. What you boys and girls are going to get is going to be absolutely incredible should you buy one. And what would I recommend you buy? If you're a big man child, man lady, man in between, whatever you are, you love VR, you're passionate about it, you spend literal hours, days, years inside VR. Yes. 100%. The best social VR experience. It's the best gaming experience. And if you really want to, productivity. Just be mindful of the things that I've said that I don't like about it. The main gripe is the wire, but you'll get used to that if you use it a lot. I've got used to it after 350 hours. Probably got used to it after about, I'll say 50 hours or so. I didn't really start noticing it. If you're a social VR player, yeah, what do I recommend you boys and girls get? Well, it depends. There is a VR1 for everyone. If you just want amazing visuals, classic, it's no brainer. We don't use pass-through, hand tracking, eye tracking, all that. You're still going to get the best visuals to date possible on PCVR. Now, if you're a social VR player, again, you don't find yourself using pass-through at all on any of your devices, not even the index now and then I would just get the Titan edition. Hand tracking and eye tracking, that's the perfect dream for a social VR headset. But bear in mind that if you want to expand eye tracking, finger tracking, facial tracking, don't forget you get this USB here. That's perfectly positioned there for like a face tracker or anything you want really. But yeah, you guys know all the specs. 3 USB-Cs, Gen 3.2. It's the 10 gigabit a second one, it's the fast one. Got 3 of those, got headphone jack as well. These are completely modular, you can print your own, make your own, do whatever you want. but you guys already know the specs of this. So again, yeah, social VR player, I will go the Titan. If you're a simmer, I'll probably go the Spectre edition with the mixed reality and finger tracking, so you can, you know, you can key out your cockpit. Or if you just want to go balls to the wall and just be king of the castle and just laugh at all the peasants with their Quest 3s and Valve Index, which I don't know why people are still using Valve Indexes in this year. Ultimate and translucent. These cheeky buttons here are programmable, which I'll show in the tool now. You can change what these do. They might become more customizable in the future, but for now, you can launch apps, you can change pass-through, you can volume up and down, mute mic, that kind of thing, but you can change. I'm running this at 65% on the 3080 Ti. When graphics cards become more powerful and technology gets better, you can run this at 100% and then 150%. You're gonna get, this is 5 years worth. 5 years of PCVR here. No audio. There is an audio jack, but there's no audio. But there's lots of options out there. I've recently been trying these wireless off-ear headphones because I wanted to mimic something similar to the Index. Valve Index sets the standard, and that's gonna be very hard, very, very hard to beat. But this gives you some options. So I will link in the description below what I've been using with them and what I think is the best to use with them. But it's really personal preference again. I like off ear. In VR, I like to have my ears breathe. I don't want any noise cancellation. But yeah, buy one. Yeah. I genuinely don't know what else to say about it. It's the best. If you're coming from an Index, the best. Quest 3, the best, if you don't mind the wire. Nothing comes close to this. I am hugely grateful to be given the chance to put it through some serious pace. I've tried so many VR games on it. I've tried even playing some flat screen games in cinema mode. It's diabolical. It's gonna last you a very long time. And just so you know, I've not been exactly looking after this. I've not been babying this. I sometimes forget what it actually is, and I'm just like, you know, chucking it around now and then. It's taking it like an absolute boss. You need prescription lenses. They're available too. They literally just pop on magnetically like that. Really easy. Give your lenses some nice protection as well. Genuinely, I can't say it enough. And I know some people are gonna be like, yeah, well, he works for Somnium Space, he will say that. If it was shit, I would tell you it is shit. If it's got anything bad with it, I would have said it. The only thing bad I think about it is the cable and the nose. But yeah, I've been Shodah. Hope you've enjoyed this. If you like it, just let me know. I don't want to do this, like the video and share and all that. No, just write something to me. Because if you guys want more of this stuff where I go my own opinions, which I know everyone's got one, but look after yourselves. And I'll see you in VR. Bye bye. I can't do what Arta does. I can't do the thing because my camera's like far away. Fine. You understand the mission. It's fine.